Hello students, today we are going to learn about female reproductive system. Usually female reproductive system is more complex than the male reproductive system. Why it is complex than that of the male reproductive system? Because in addition to the gamete formation, female reproductive system has to nurture the developing fetus. That means it has to take care of the developing fetus at the time of pregnancy. Okay, now we are going to see about what are the structures found in female reproductive system. The female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, accessory organs and external genitalia. So in the case of accessory organs, it consists of fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix and vagina. So these are all the accessory organs of female reproductive system. All these parts structurally and functionally integrated with mammary glands. So thereby it supports ovulation, fertilization, pregnancy, childbirth and childcare. Okay, so before seeing the structure of each and every organs in female reproductive system, let us see the picture of female reproductive system. So this is the picture of female reproductive system. So already said, it consists of pair of ovaries and it possesses accessory organs like fallopian tube. So these are the fallopian tubes, then uterus. This is cervix and vagina. So these are the structure. So below vagina is the external genitalia. So these are the structure of female reproductive system. Okay. Now let us see the structure of each and every organs in female reproductive system. So first we are going to see about the structure of ovary. So I already know that in the case of male, which is the primary sex organ, that is testis. The same way here in the case of female, ovaries are the primary female sex organs. And the main function of ovaries are production of female gametes, that is ovum. Okay, what is the location of these ovaries? So they are located in the lower abdomen, that is one on either side of the lower abdomen. Okay, next is what is the shape of the ovary? It is elliptical in shape. Okay, and each ovary is covered by a layer of thin cuboidal epithelium. That layer of cuboidal epithelium is called as germinal epithelium. And below this germinal epithelium, there is a dense connective tissue that is called as tunica albuginea. And this germinal epithelium encloses a supportive framework. The framework is composed of connective tissue. Okay, that structure is called as ovarian stroma. So, okay, now we can see the structure of ovary. So, already we said that ovary is the elliptical in shape. So, this is the elliptical shape ovary. Okay, and the outer layer, it is made up of a cuboidal epithelium, that is called as germinal epithelium. This line is the germinal epithelium, and below that there is a dense connective tissue that is called as tunica albuginea, and it encloses a mass of tissue, that is connective tissue, that is called as ovarian stroma. So this region is called as ovarian stroma. The entire region is called as ovarian stroma. Okay, so now we can see the structure of ovarian stroma. Okay, so here the ovarian stroma is differentiated as outer cortex and inner medulla. So first we can see about what is the nature of the cortex. So the cortex of ovarian stroma is usually dense and granular. So why it is granular in nature means because of ovarian follicle. Okay, the outer cortex consists of ovarian follicles. So these ovarian follicles are in various stages of development. So they are in different stages of development. So they look like a granular in nature. So the cortex is granular in nature. So next one is medulla. Actually medulla is composed of loose connective tissue. And also it is supplied with abundant blood vessels, lymphatic vessels and nerve fibers. Okay. So let us see the picture of ovary. See, this is the stroma of the ovary. These are all the stroma of the ovary. That is ovarian stroma. This is the ovarian stroma. It is divided into outer cortex. So this is the outer cortex region, which is denser and it has granular. Why it is granular means these are all the developing follicle, ovarian follicle. These are all developing ovarian follicle. So it is granular nature and the middle part is the medulla. So it is supplied with blood vessels, lymphatic vessels and nerve fibers. Okay. So next we are going to see about the accessory organs of female reproductive system, fallopian tube. So before that, this ovary and uterus remain attached to the pelvic wall, that is with the help of a ligament, a structure that is called as ovarian ligament. That ligament is named as mesovarium. Okay. So next we are going to see about accessory organs of female reproductive system. The first accessory organ is fallopian tube. That is, it is also called as uterine tubes or oviduct. And this fallopian tube extends from each ovary to the uterus. So here the fallopian tube has three parts. It is divided into three parts. So what are the parts are? The first part is infundibulum. It is a proximal part of fallopian tube. That is the first part of fallopian tube and it is funnel shaped. It is funnel shaped and the edges have many finger-like projection called as fimbriae. The edge of the funnel-shaped infundibulum possesses finger-shaped structure that is called as fimbriae. This fimbriae help to collect ovum after ovulation. So the function of fimbriae is to collect the ovum after ovulation. See, if you see the picture, it is very clear to you. Okay. So actually, so this is the fallopian tube. So it has three parts. The first part is funnel shaped structure that is called as infundibulum. So the edge of the infundibulum has many finger-like projection. So that is called as fimbriae. So what is the function of fimbriae means? It will collect the ovum after ovulation and direct the ovum to the uterus through this tube. Okay. And the second part is ampulla. This part is the ampulla. It is the median part of the fallopian tube. And the third last part is the isthmus. Isthmus. Actually, it is a short, thick-walled tube. It connects the ampulla and infundibulum to the uterus. It will connect the ampulla and infundibulum to the uterus. That is okay. See, ampulla, it is wider central portion of the oviduct. And isthmus is the last part of oviduct. It is short and thick-walled. And it connects the ampulla and infundibulum to the uterus. Okay. So that's all about the structure of fallopian tube. So next we are going to see about the next accessory structure, that is uterus. So uterus is also called as womb. The other name for uterus is womb. So the nature of the uterus is it is hollow, thick wall, muscular and highly vascular. So what do you mean by vascular? That means it is highly supplied with blood vessels. Okay, and the shape is inverted pear shaped, and where it is located means it is located in the pelvic cavity between urinary bladder and rectum. So this is the inverted pear shape. The pear is like this only. So inverted pear shape, and where it is present? It is present in the pelvic region between urinary bladder and the rectum. So this is the pelvic region. These regions are the pelvic region, and this is the uterus, and this is urinary bladder, and this is rectum. So uterus is found between urinary bladder and the rectum. Okay. So next, here the uterus is divided into two regions, that is body and fundus. So body is the major portion of the uterus, and fundus is the superior rounded region of the body. Okay. So if you see, so this is the uterus, and this is the major portion, that is body, and this region is called as fundus. It is a superior rounder region, that is called as fundus. Okay. So next we are going to see about the wall of the uterus. So the wall of the uterus has 3 layers of tissue. It is made up of 3 layers of tissues. So what are the 3 layers of tissues? So first one is perimetrium. It is just the outermost thin membranous serous layer. Okay. And the middle one is myometrium, which is the muscular layer. Okay. What is the function of this myometrium is? It exhibits strong contractions during parturition. Parturition means childbirth. At the time of childbirth, it will exhibit strong muscular contraction to expel out the fetus. The third layer, the innermost layer, is endometrium, which is glandular in nature. They possess more number of gland. Okay, so it is glandular in nature and will undergo cyclic changes during menstrual cycle. So these are the 3 layers of uterine wall. Okay. See, so the innermost layer, this is called as endometrium. The middle one is the muscular layer, that is called as myometrium. And the outer layer, it is a thin serous layer, that is called as perimetrium. Okay. So next, we are going to see about the next accessory structure, that is cervix. Okay. So here, the cervix. So which part is called a cervix means the uterus opens into vagina through a narrow structure, that is called as cervix, and it encloses a cavity, that is called as cervical canal. The cavity of cervix is called as cervical canal. Okay, and this cervical canal has 2 openings. One opening is internal and another one is external. So through that, the external opening is called as external orifice. So with the help of this external orifice, it communicates with vagina. And internally it possesses another opening, that is called as internal orifice. Through this internal orifice, it communicates with uterus. Okay. And this cervical canal and vagina forms birth canal. They both together forms the birth canal. See. So this is the cervix. So here it possesses 2 openings. This is internal orifice. So this internal orifice opens the cervix into the uterus, and this is the external orifice. This will open the cervix into vagina. Okay, and the next part is vagina. So vagina is a large fibromuscular tube. Okay, and it extends from cervix to exterior, and it is the organ of copulation in female. Okay, and this vagina, at the external opening of the vagina, okay, it is partly closed by a thin ring of tissue that is called as hymen. Vagina, so at the opening of the vagina, it is closed by a thin ring of tissue that is called as hymen. And next part is, so that's all about the accessory structure. So next we are going to see about external genitalia. So what are external genitalia means? The structures which are lies external to the vagina. So the reproductive structure which is found outside the vagina is called as external genitalia, and it is also called as vulva. That external genitalia is also called as vulva. So these are the following structures, that is labia majora, labia minora, hymen, clitoria. These are the structures found in external genitalia. Okay, so next we are going to see about accessory glands. So in the case of male reproductive system, it possesses 3 accessory glands. Here female reproductive system consists of 2 accessory glands. They are Bartholin's gland and Skene's gland. So first we are going to see about Bartholin's gland. So Bartholin's gland is also called as greater vestibular gland. The other hand, and where it is present means it is present posterior to the left and right of vaginal opening. Okay, so if you see the picture, you can say this is the posterior part of the vaginal opening. So in the vaginal opening, near the vaginal opening, left side and right side, this Bartholin's glands are present. Okay, and its function is it secretes mucus that helps to lubricate the vagina. It lubricates the vagina, and the structure and the function of this gland is similar to that of the bulbourethral glands of male reproductive system. Okay, so next we are going to see about Skene's gland. So Skene's gland are located on the anterior wall of the vagina, and it is around the lower end of the urethra. So urethra is the end part of the urinary bladder, and it is found at the anterior wall of the vagina. Okay, so it will secrete the lubricating fluid, and this gland is compared with that of the prostate gland of male reproductive system. That means it is homologous to the prostate gland of male reproductive system. Okay, students, I hope that you would have understood about the female reproductive system. Thank you.